gamers, gals, and non-binary pals. I love a little Master Duel every now and then. I'm not afraid to lie and make a whole video where I say that I quit Master Duel only to fire up stream and to play a little Master Duel just to get people in to the door. Because God knows my personality ain't carrying it. It's all the Labyrinth hentai I see. I see you guys joining the server. But we did get a little Master Duel ban list. And you know, it was a list. It really is always the third judgment that gets you, you know? Now, this is, you know, my own inherent issues with Master Duel as a platform, but I do overall think that Master Duel is just not a very fun format for a lot of reasons that I highlighted in the Master Duel video. Like the fact that Maxx C exists, the fact that it's always behind, and instead of decks being actively hit for the health of the game, their solution is to just be like, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna introduce like Ryzeal at some point, and that'll phase Snake Eye out. Spoilers, it won't, because like Appaloosa still exists, but you know, whatever. Ball out. Master Duel seems hard catered to mid-range or OTK decks. I strongly disagree. I think Master Duel is mainly the most combo slop shit of all time, and nothing else. Master Duel fucking hates OTK decks. They banned fucking Tenpai with the swiftness. All I'm gonna say is that 90% of how I feel about Master Duel ban list is just this. Nothing ever happens. And then this got made. A bunch of people on Twitter were complaining, and this little Soy Jack versus Chad image got made by Trevor Allen. But before we get into today's video, this video is brought to you by Summoner's Nexus. Summoner's Nexus is a digital indie TCG that's been in development for the past 4 years out of love for games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Marvel Snap. The game is designed for a dynamic back and forth with both players taking turns simultaneously and neither player ever feeling completely shut out of the game or feel like they're watching their opponent perform a cutscene while they're comboing off. The game is currently available in early alpha, which is completely free to download and play on both Android and iOS, with a PC port coming in the near future. With hundreds of cards currently in rotation and a passionate team putting everything on the line behind it, I highly recommend for you all to give Summoner's Nexus a look at the link on screen and in the description down below. Thank you again to Summoner's Nexus. Oh wow, oh heavens, what a surprise, oh my. More TCG players who have hated their format for 10 years dunking on Master Player ban list. And it's the beta TCG duelist versus the Giga Chad Master Duelist. So let's break this down a little bit. If I don't eat this month, I could go to YCS Venezuela. I suppose 200 for a spreadsheet is a good deal. I can't wait for the new format to be implemented, so I can finally do something with 99% of the cards I own. The sleeves I bought today have a fingernail indent. I guess I need new ones. Cry for job, cry for a judge, Nintendo Switches, air fryers. I don't know this ruling, judge. If I sell my blood plasma, I could afford a new engine and win some booster packs. Wham wham wham, Maxx C. Versus the Giga Chad. Plays from bed while watching SpongeBob. Never spent a dime. False. 100 times larger player base. Banless. Event pricing literally just as good as TCGs. You know, I'd argue that it's better, but you know, 10 minutes of free time for a quick duel. Most creators have transitioned to Master Duel. Easy access to a website with statistics. Thanks random Redditor for the 20-page combo spreadsheet. Yep. Blackwing players. That's our guy. I wouldn't get so annoyed if it wasn't so regularly and seeming out of nowhere. I see a mentality all the time that Master Duel players are inferior to TCG player then, and this isn't even real Yu-Gi-Oh! And does anyone even like this game? Anyways, the Soy Jack meme debate continues. I drew you as Chad and me as Soy Jack. Wait, I think I messed something up. So let's read I don't know what this is. Is this like Hassan versus like H3 H3? TCG duelist. Gets to go outside and meet people instead of spending more time on the PC. I miss 2019. Gets to piss in worse conditions than a 17th century peasant. Feels alive. People keep asking me if I'm nervous because I bounce my legs. This is just here to fill space. Gets to experience the thrill of capitalism. Instead of stalling one opponent, you can stall 2,000 with an end of round judge call. Cards in hand feel nice. Might get mugged at LICS. It makes for a good story. Can mug someone for easy money. Super spreader events portrayed in the immune system. It is crazy how that one YCS, oh my god, what was it? It was like YCS Houston? The YCS that happened like a couple weeks ago, where everybody got like the super giga flu, or like YCS Vegas in 2020 where everybody caught COVID. That shit was so funny. The Master Duelist Release delays somehow worse than OCG. Best of one format. Game not balanced around best of one. Haven't felt a thing since release week. 0.5 significant updates. Too pretentious to play a real gacha. Chat, just play a little Love in Deep Space. Just play a little Zenless Zone Zero. You know, just goon to like April 13th. Just, you know, rub your Vagooter to a little Silas action. Put the BDSM Silas outfit on screen, Resi. All tournament formats are made up bullshit. Be for real, no one likes festivals anymore. No in-game tournament support. All I'm gonna say is that Nerd Factor might be kinda spitting. Notice how nowhere in the 1,000 paragraphs on this meme is there a single sentence about the format. Master Duel players are 100% right. The player base is bigger, the client is sleek, it's cheaper than the TCG. The Master Duel has a ton of creators, third-party infrastructure, more bandless movement, and more things. On the other hand, you have to play Master Duel. And this ultimately is just big debate lord of like TCG versus Master Duel Duelist. Now, have I made videos about this before? Yes. Am I gonna farm this topic again for more money? Absolutely. So we're gonna compare Soy Jacks here. This is my job now. I just look at funny thing on internet and I'm like, yep, thing good versus thing bad. So Master Duel and Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG are two completely different games. I don't think that this is like a giant surprise to anyone who's played both, but these two games offer 100% different experiences for players / duelists. Master Duel is basically Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a very, very fun game to play. You could play it at a very budget level. You can play it for basically whatever you want, wherever you want. There is a massive Hearthstone community. You can mainly play it for, like, again, almost free. There are like ways to get a bunch of deck lists. There are ways to get a lot of like resources relative to like TCGs. It is very, very fun. But the big thing that's kind of sucks about Master Duel is, again, basically everything what Nerd Factor says, where the changes that Hearthstone makes, or Master Duel specifically, they are very much set up with rotation in mind. Like the rotation of Master Duel is basically just, here are a bunch of new decks, or like here's just, fuck it, here's Fiendsmith, here's Blue Eyes, go crazy. It's just gonna fucking shit on Snake Eye, who gives a shit? You know, it doesn't, but you know, ball out. Like Hearthstone very, very rarely nerfs or buffs cards in a meaningful way, and if they do, you know, they're usually done to incentivize people to buy new product. Because again, at the end of the day, these are gacha companies. And the second thing is, Master Duel format fucking sucks. I don't know what to tell you guys, but if you think like full power Snake Eye format still being relevant for over a year, as well as the fact that like Appaloosa still exists, Baron de Fleur still exists, I think Chaos Ruler still exists, Gamma still exists, the fact that like the Hauka Fibrax, like Block Drag, oh my god, Adamancipators still exists. The fact that so much stuff in Master Duel still exists when we just straight up know that certain play patterns are unfun and toxic and just flat out boring to play against. It is a very frustrating experience. If you want to play Master Duel for Master Duel's sake, it is a fun game, but if you are like a casual fan, there are a lot of things in Yu-Gi-Oh! That exist within Master Duel that most people do not like. Again, think of like Maxx C, think of Appaloosa, think of Omni Negates, blah 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 blah. Maxx C is the one reason I stopped Master Duel. The amount of people I know who just objectively will never play Master Duel or take it seriously because of Maxx C is like astonishing. It's like double digits worth of people. Like one of my friends, I was like, hey, why don't you play Master Duel? You seem to like really love competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's like, yeah, you know, I could, but like but I feel like I just play any deck and I lose like 20% of my games because I got Maxx C'd into full comboed or like OTK'd, and it's just stupid. And I'm like, don't blame me, buddy. I'll blame you on that one. Yeah, I logged games where Maxx C resolved by myself or the opponent. It's not even 20%, it's closer to 40% of games that are dictated by that card. Like, you're not wrong. When almost every single deck basically contains 2 copies of Maxx C, and you want to include like the Charmies as like half Maxx Cs, if both players are playing like what, 2 to 3 Maxx Cs plus like maybe like 1 playset of Charmies, if you like do the math, the odds of one player opening a Charmy or Maxx C is around like 40-ish%. And if you compound that between 2 players, that means like most of your games are gonna revolve around either you sacking your opponent with a Charmy or Maxx C, or your opponent sacking you with a Charmy or Maxx C. And I don't think that's very interesting or fun. And again, you could say like, oh, well, it's not always that bad because the Charmies are able to beat XYZ and APC. And yeah, sure, I get it. I can jork my peanuts and then I'll like kick Hello's Book of Moon Pass. But the big thing is like, it's not realistic to try and get people into your game and be like, yeah, sure, here's a 50-page guide on how to play Tier Limit in a meaningful fashion. And here's how to play around like every single hand trap and how to navigate your combo lines and blah, blah, blah. Like, people are just going to be like, I should not need a 50-page guide in order to learn how to play this game or to like navigate around like Maxx C or Fulos. Do you know what game is exactly like that? League of fucking Legends. There's a reason why the learning experience of League of Legends is so frustrating and difficult. People want games to be an escape from reality. They do not want their games to be a fucking mentally taxing experience. Like, the league curve is crazy. The league curve is like here, like, okay, here's like ROI plus like time, knowledge. Pretend I drew this properly. Like, the more time you put into League, the more ROI you get. It's like very one-to-one, where like you learn how to play a champion, then you learn how that champion functions, then you learn how to play that champion in a role, and then you learn how to kind of beat other champions. Like, let's say top lane. Like, you learn Scion, and you learn how to, you know, trade with your opponent, you learn how your abilities work, you learn how like your general laning pattern is, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, for an average player, you know, like, you get like semi-good on a champion, and like, you know, you end up here, and you feel like they mastered it. That is kind of how it feels to play like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you learn how to play, you pick up a deck, and you learn the basic combos, and you learn how the deck interacts with other decks, and you learn what cards beats your deck, and like you learn how to beat some card, and like you're like, okay, this is cool. The second you start introducing evil shit into that shit, the knowledge barrier looks like this. The knowledge ceiling starts looking like this when you start putting in disgusting metagame shit into your brain. Think of like playing around hand traps. Think of like what to do when you get Maxx C and you can't stop it. Think of like anti-Maxx C or like anti-Droll combos, like anti-Prulia stuff. This is where the game requires a lot more time in order to get that level of skill. Like, sure, you can technically do it, but it takes so much more time to reach this level of skill with certain things just to be like relatively passable at the game. Like, again, think of League of Legends top lane, where you have to learn how to proxy, learn what proxying is, learn how to like manage turret platings, learn what cheater recalls are, learn what like good defs are on Scion, learn how to like do proper wave management, learn how to freeze waves, learn like gold econ. It's so stupid. There's so many things that you have to learn if you want to play a deck at like a realistic level. And you could say like, sure, oh, you can learn for fun, or you know, you just do it for fun. You're gonna go like 1-3 at locals, and you're gonna have a miserable experience because you're gonna be either matched against like children or you're gonna be matched against like turbo sweaters at a YCS. And at that point, it's just like, it feels like you're not even playing the same game anymore. You're not even having fun at a certain point. Games should not be about studying and having to like memorize 5,000 things on a spreadsheet, or having to do like rocket science in order to like resolve a combo optimally. It should just be about having fun. You know what I mean? And again, like the TCG does kind of follow that same sort of thing, where it's like, yeah, you know, sure, you don't have to, like, sure, yeah, you know, you still have to play around Droll and like the Charmies, but at least there's no fucking Maxx C. You know what I mean? There's no Maxx C. There are no cards that shut down any even potential for thought, like Appaloosa or Baron the Fleur, that exists within the TCG, or Maxx C, of course. But again, it's not like the TCG is a billion times better either. Going to YCSs is a very costly expense. For most people, it's going to cost somewhere between $300 to $1,000, maybe $2,000 if you want to treat it like a vacation. Resources to learn, that are gatekept, that are price kept behind spreadsheets is very, very frustrating, because if you want to actually increase that level and start going to events and start having more fun, it's going to cost way, way more. It's going to cost you way more money and time to get coaching, which is usually overpriced, or spreadsheets, which is blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. But at the same time, the number one thing I like about the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, the thing that I love more than Master Duel, above all else, is the fact that you get to go outside and talk to Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. Now, this may seem insane for some of you guys who are like, oh my god, I think I hate Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. You're not wrong. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are insane. But the community aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is without a doubt the only reason I am still playing. I love going to events, you know, like conceptually. You know, I'm looking through the binoculars from like 10 blocks away. I'm like, ah, yes, that was a really cool play. It is being able to go to non-OTS locals and hang out with like-minded people and share a space and banter with friends and all that sort of thing, and like have physical cards and have nobody holding your hand. It's just you and your opponent. You're locked in. That is what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Fun and exciting, and is the main appealing aspect for me. The gameplay is like, sure, it's alright, it's whatever. The community aspect of TCGs is just so fun. It's something that you arguably cannot replicate on a computer in any meaningful way. Yeah, that makes sense. Very similar for fighting games. Yeah, it's exactly the difference between like going to a locals or Evo relative to, you know, just grinding ladder. Like grinding ladder is something you could feel extremely detached and basically like you could glaze your eyes over and just get extremely bored of. Like nobody wants to play like 5,000 like Chun-Li games just to hit like Grandmaster, you know what I'm saying? But the aspect of like going to locals, meeting friends, risen up the local hus. that was so stupid. Going to Evo, going to like sharing these large events. Jesus Christ. Like sharing a space with a bunch of like-minded individuals will always be something that I personally love. Like, yes, it is expensive. Yes, it can be frustrating. Yes, it can lead to massive time and money sinks. But for some people, me included, I think that some of the time, when it is within reason, and you know, like decks aren't $2,000, and you know, accommodations are like the only thing you have to worry for within a metagame, I think that you are able to, for the most part, I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be an amazing game when played in paper. This is why I enjoy the TCG above Master Duel, in my personal opinion. Like my entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection is like, what, $6,000? That didn't just coincidentally happen. It happened because I do love this game. This game is awesome. A lot of cool things about this game that I do enjoy above other TCGs and above other games. There's a reason I don't play fucking Pokemon. Remember Seismitoad EX? Remember Badoo? That shit's still going on, which is evil. But you know, that's just me. Oh, also, the TCG format is actually good. There's no Maxx C. There's no dumb bullshit auto answers. We don't talk about what happens if you get Lancet on Malice. I heard that doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, I think that the TCG format is better. I think that the community aspect of the TCG is better. And I think that being able to play with physical cards, it's always a treat. It's always fun to like play a tabletop with someone. There's a reason board game cafes are always popping. Anyways, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this little debate in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.